Hey, what's going on, coaches? This is Murphy Grant. What I want to do is show and demonstrate and explain our Jambars warm-up. Again, the goal is to make sure that all of our players, all of our athletes are doing the same movements from the U10 age to the U18s. The terminology, the movements will go a long way past the Jambars FC. If they get into college, if they decide they want to do some pro things, the terminology in these movements will go along with them. So I'm going to demonstrate. First of all, I'm going to explain the setup and how we're going to do things, and then I'll roll through every single movement. All right, with the setup, we'll do the setup pretty similar to the FIFA 11. We'll have a base cone, and then we would put 6 cones down, roughly about 2 feet, 2.5 feet from each other. Once we get to the top, there is an 8-yard difference to a second set of cones, and then another 9 to 10 yards of our last cones. We'll utilize these cones through the entire warm-up. Again, the basis of moving the body to warm the body up. So we will move the body a little bit at a pretty easy pace. We'll work a static stretch, and then we'll pick our pace up. In order to play the game, you have to be really warm, and you've got to be ready to explode within a second. A ball is played, you've got to be ready to go. So we'll incorporate all these things into the warm-up. So once we get all of our teams, the goal of this warm-up is to last truly no more than 10 minutes. You can get this done. Depending on the size of your team, you can do 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines. I would try to split it up and distribute the lines pretty evenly, and then you can keep them moving. Once you get them squared away and you get them in their lines, I set up 2. The first movement we're going to do is we're going to start off all of our movements to the last cone. And this is just easy, waking up their bodies, getting them ready for movement prep. So the first thing that I do with them once I get them lined up is I'll put them on the left side of the cone. Again, trying to make sure that they are paying attention to the cues. Let's go on the left side of the cone. Let's go on the right side of the cone. Again, getting their brains working and warmed up as well to accept your instruction once you get out on the field. So the first movement on the left side of the cone, it's just a very easy jog to your last set of cones. At this point, I keep everyone down on this end until the entire team comes down. I instruct them on the term go. You can use whatever you want to use, but as they're moving, just pay attention to their movements. Once you get back up to the line and everyone gets down here, I'll give the command go, and then they'll easy jog right back. This movement I tend to do twice, down and back, and then I'll start a movement prep with them. The first movement that I'll do with them is called a knee hug, and we will still go all the way to the very last cone. So every step, you want the player to grab their knee and pull up. We definitely want the toe up. So every single step, you want them stretching. Once we get to the very top, it's an easy jog down. On our way back, we will heel to hip. So we will grab our heel, pull to our hip. After about 5 yards, we're going to jog through. This is where I instruct them, move to the right side of the cone. Here we will do a heel to butt. We'll grab our heel, pull to our butt, At this point, we'll start picking our pace up just a tad bit. Give them an instruction of about half speed to 3/4 speed with our movement. Here we will straight leg march. This is something that I really stressed with them during camp, is to make sure they loosen up their legs here. Being ready to play, being ready to strike a ball takes a lot of movement through our core and our legs. So the straight leg march, it's an opposite arm, opposite leg movement. And again, we want to do every single step to get a stretch. Once we get there, we would work a sumo squat. So we'll stay on the right side of the cone. The sumo squat, I'll do 2 one way, 2 the other, and then we'll go 3/4 speed. So on our command go, they'll step out, squat down, pivot, squat, pivot, squat, pivot, squat, and they're out. The next one is a lunge to instep. Once they get here, they'll step. That again, it'll be 2 lunges each way. Step, elbow to the instep. Step up, elbow, instep. Step up, elbow, instep. Last time, and firing out. At this point in our lines, I'll have the second person take a half step back, third person half step back. We'll static stretch at this point. The first stretch that I will do with them is I'll bring their feet together, hands up big overhead, and just hang on a hamstring stretch. Never want them really pulling, but to just hang there. I'll hang them for about 10 or 15 seconds, make them raise their hands up big overhead, take a deep breath, and then we're coming right back down. Again, this is done for about 10 or 15 seconds. I'll put left leg forward, the right leg back, and this is a really, really good hamstring stretch. Hands big overhead. We'll reach to the inside of that left foot. 10, 15 seconds there. Reach up big, have them take a deep breath, and then we'll reach to the outside of that left foot. After that 15-second time, I'll switch them. Right leg forward, left leg back, and we would do the same stretch. Inside the right foot. Up big, deep breath, outside of the right foot. Our time is up. We'll just drop that back knee. Now we'll get a good hip flexor stretch. We'll put our hands overhead, head back, and they'll lean into the hip flexor stretch. You want them to feel it right through here. After about 10, 12 seconds, we'll rotate a little bit to our right, and this opens up and stretches a little bit more all the way across the body. After 15 seconds, we'll trunk twist and then switch. Same movement. Head on a stretch. Easy rotate to our left. You're always rotating to the knee that's up. We're off. Trunk twist. Then we'll do a calf stretch. Right calf. Left calf. Then we'll hit a sumo. We'll bend down, use your elbows, push out. A very, very good groin or adductor stretch. Soccer players, footballers, they move laterally all the time. So it's very important that they get a good stretch through their adductor region. Rest after about 10 or 15 seconds there, and I'll do this one twice. After that stretch, we will lateral lunge, really to loosen up and stretch that groin again. 10 or 15 seconds to the right, 10 or 15 seconds to the left. The very last stretch, and as we are going through the stretch, I tell them, we're about to pick our pace up. We're about to pick our pace up. Get ready to move, just so their minds are right that the intensity is about to change. After lateral lunge, the next stretch is the very last one. I call it my favorite stretch in the whole world. They know that. It's a really, really good hamstring stretch. I bend them down and have them put their fingers right underneath their toes. Their heels should be flat. Their knees should be inside their arms. Give a number 3 to 5, even 6, and they'll know what they're doing. So what the goal is to be able to stand straight up with your fingertips underneath your toes. So if the number's 3, that's 1, 2, 3, and then we're ready to roll. I'll let them shake it out a little bit, and now it's time to pick our pace up. They should be at the line of their cones already, and this is where the right side of the cone, left side of the cone is really going to come into play. All of our movements again are going to go to the top of the cone and then to that very first set of cones. Right here is always going to be your starting. So once we get through that cone, through it, not to it, they're jogging back as their recovery to get back here. So the first thing that I'll do with them, once we get done with our static stretching, I move them to the left side of the cone. And then we'll face across, and everyone's going to face the same way. So the first movement is a karaoke. Now we're going to loosen our hips. We're going to karaoke to the top of our orange cones, and then it's a sprint to the first set of cones. So again, the command is go, and karaoke will go. Quick, quick. We're sprinting out. We'll jog back easy. This is where we will recover and learn how to burst and jog from a recovery standpoint. We'll move straight to the right side of the cone. We'll karaoke. And we're sprinting out. We'll jog back. Back to the left side of the cone. We will lateral shuffle all the way down. Shuffle. Sprint. Jog back. Right side of the cone. Shuffle. Sprint. Jog back. We'll go to the right side of the cone again. We'll high knee to the top and sprint. Left side of the cone, butt kicks. Sprint. Now we'll go to the left side of the cone and we'll shuffle in and out. Start on the left, everyone's on the left. Go as the command, go. Sprint. Jog back. Right side of cone. Shuffle. Go. Last movement. I put them on the left side of the cone. This is a quick change of direction. We'll face all the same way. You can choose which cone you want to go to. Give them a number. 5. So they're going to start here. Right foot on the cone. They will shuffle to cone number 5. Touch. Shuffle back to 1. and then they're out. 5, 1, and out. And they're out. They'll jog back. Right side of the cone. Here I make it really, really short. Number 3 or number 4. You really want to see how quickly they're going to change. So we'll go to 4. Go. Boom, boom. And they're out. By this time, their bodies are warm. Their bodies move laterally. Their bodies moved forward. So from here, you guys can get some touches, and then they should be ready to go. All right, we'll demonstrate and I'll show some stretching and cool down recovery techniques post-training session. Recovery is important from training session to training session. Training session to match. How you recover and take care of yourself is so important to be able to give your best on that day. So one thing that once we finish up with our sessions, easy 5, 6, 7 minutes, probably no more than that, just an easy stretch to calm our bodies down. Again, I really like spreading the legs, hands up overhead. Every time we put our hands up over our head, what it does is just opens up our airway, opens up everything through our core. It actually feels really good, and then we'll just hang straight down. Again, we never hold these stretches any longer than about 15 seconds or so, just making sure that they breathe through the stretch and not pull or hold their breath. Another good one up top. And hang again. Here we'll step. Now that we've moved laterally and forward and back the entire training session, let's stretch out that groin a little bit. It would be probably a little tight. We'll come to the middle, then back to the right. Post training session, I usually hit everything twice. And I'll go to the left. Again, trying to keep the heel flat and the foot flat. Now, that adductor or groin. Shake it. Back down again. Hit our calves. Twice. I'll do 2 inchworms with them. So they'll start there, push up, walk all the way in, walk back out, pop up, walk back in, stretch, hold, walk back out. And we'll figure 4. Relax. Figure 4 again. Switch. Relax. Sweaty. There. And then we'll be done. Make sure they shake your hand and look you in the eye and thank you for making them better. All right, right, players, this message is for you. I'm very excited about everything that you guys have done this summer, from tryouts, learning the movements, being engaged, not afraid to step out there and be part of the Jambars family. That rolled right into our summer camp, which was absolutely unbelievable. You guys gave me your attention, you gave me your effort, and that's all I really asked for. Now the season's about to roll, and it's about to begin. So all those things that we worked on, all the things we talked about giving your all, giving your best, is about to happen. Remember the arm movements, remember the leg drive, but also remember the things that we talked about, from fueling your body, to the hydration, to the calories, knowing that water is very important, but you also need to put some calories in your system. I would ask you guys every morning what you had for breakfast. Make sure you're eating breakfast. Make sure you're eating lunch. Make sure you're getting these meals. Make sure you eat dinner. After your training sessions, which may be at 4 or 5, whatever time it may be, make sure that you're putting some calories back into your system. Recovery is very important. You want your body to feel as good the next day as you did the day before, moving forward. Some of you guys have, or you may not have this little junk food thing. That's me. I eat a lot of junk food, but take it in moderation. Again, don't really want to control what you're eating and what you're not eating, but if you want your body to excel and perform at a very high level, you have to make sure that you are paying attention to what you're putting in your system every single day. It should be a really, really good season. Make sure you guys warm up properly. Make sure you cool down properly. Take care of yourselves. If you take care of your body will take care of you. Good luck this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys.